This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, very good evening. Welcome to Amazon Web Services. Today we are going to discuss the one more very important concept, auto scaling. So what is the auto scaling? Auto scaling helps you maintain application availability and allows you to scale your EC2 capacity up or down automatically according to conditions you define. It will increase or decrease the number of instances based on chosen CloudWatch metrics. Right. The first very important thing while running auto scaling maintain application availability. I mean the application continuously available with help of auto scaling. And how it is possible means, so for example, one Tomcat application is running, one Tomcat web server is running. So I want to increase that Tomcat application when the server load average is more than 40%. I mean, it will increase or decrease the number of instances. So automatically it will increase, automatically it will decrease number of instances based on CloudWatch metrics. For example, if you create any one application, so that application running currently 20% CPU utilization. Okay, I want to increase another instance. I mean, I want to create another instance when the CPU utilization is more than 50%. Then it will add one more instance. Then both instances will distribute the traffic to, it will share the what? Incoming application traffic. So that's why auto scaling maintain application availability. It automatically increase and decrease number of instances based on CloudWatch metrics. That is the main role of auto scaling. But auto scaling with load balancing. So in the last lecture, we have been added instances manually in the load balancers. But now with help of auto scaling, easily to add the instances in the CloudWatch target groups. Okay, right now I have two target groups, for example, web servers, testers, and even one more like Network Elastic Load Balancer. So NLB also is there. So I want to add the instances in the Network Elastic Load Balancer with help of auto scaling. Then how can you add the instances automatically inside the what? Target groups, right? So with the help of auto scaling, that is the combination of auto scaling and load balancer. And features and benefits. So maintain your Amazon EC2 instances availability and automatically scale your Amazon EC2 fleet. And then the main important thing in the EC2 high availability and scalability benefits, vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, high availability. These three are the what beautiful options in the auto scaling. The first one is vertical scaling. Vertical scaling means it increase instance size. Increase instance size. I mean it will scale up and scale down. For example, your instance running with T2.micro. I mean one CPU, 1 GB RAM. But one day that instance recommends more 2 CPUs, 2 GB RAM. Then how can you increase that configuration of instance? So generally we cannot increase only CPU, cannot increase only like it is a RAM like that. So the backend AWS offers instance types. So you can change instance type from T2.micro to T2.micro to maybe medium or small like that. I mean 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM to 2 CPUs, 2 GB RAM like that. So that is called what vertical scaling. Vertical scaling means we can expand the what instance type. You can change the what instance type. Then what is meant by horizontal scaling? But is it possible? The interview question is it possible to vertical scaling while allowing the server? No. So when the server is running, first you will stop the what instance, then we can change the what instance type, then we can again start the what server. That is called what? Vertical scaling. But what is mean by horizontal scaling? Horizontal scaling means like it is called what? Auto scaling. Auto scaling means it is increase number of instances. So amount of instances. I mean when the instance is running. So now that instance load average is right now 20%. But the so many people are connected to that application server of instance, then automatically the CPU utilization 20% to 30, maybe 40 or 50. But my requirement is when the CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 40%, then one more instance to add automatically inside the what? Scale group. Then the two instances will share the what? Incoming traffic automatically. So that is called what? The increase number of instances is nothing but horizontal scaling. So to change instance type from one CPU to another CPU or to one instance type to another instance type, it is called vertical scaling. But what is meant by high availability? So high availability means the instance will take another availability zone. I mean the instance is running US East 1A, then you can launch the same instance in the US East 1B. So run instances for the same application across multiple availability zones. So if you maintain one instance multiple availability zone, even one zone is failure, maybe one instance is failure in one availability zone, the second and third availability zone offers your availability. That is called what? High availability. So these three are the what? Capabilities under the EC2 high availability and scalability. Now we are talking what is horizontal scaling, because auto scaling is about horizontal scaling. Now, how can you implement horizontal scaling with help of load balancer? Now I will tell you. And now, so in the last lecture, we have been created load balancers. In the load balancers are application load balancer, classic load balancer, network load balancers, three. And now even you have been created three target groups. One is network elastic load balancer and test servers and web servers. Okay, so now manually you have been added instances in the target groups, but now how can you add the instances inside the target groups with help of auto scaling? That is the what main concept. Okay, so first, before adding auto scaling, everyone must be create one proper AMI file, that is called what? Amazon images. Because while creating instances with help of auto scaling, the auto scaling consider image files only. I mean it is called what? The proper pre-configured templates only. Then how to create a pre-configured template? I mean it is a what? Image file. So now how to create an image file? This is called what? AMIs. Okay, so now no AMS here. So now I want to create a what? One image file. First, how to create image file? Definitely we need one instance, but already the running instances are there. So like test server or something, otherwise I will launch the what? One more instance here. Launch instances. So number of instances, one. The instance name is, for example, this is Apache web server, for example. Apache web server. Then that web server is Amazon Linux, which is called what? T2.micro instance type, and keypad name is online. The keypad name is online, and the networking is our VPC is the what? Development VPC. I will take that instance is on public subnet one. Then security group should be 40, 22, and 80, which is called what? Web security group. Already existing security group. Then fine, and in the advanced details I will directly set up the what? Bootstrapping. Here I will set up the what? Bootstrap. So what is the bootstrap? As exclamation slash bin slash bash. Then first I want to update the server, m update -y. Then I want to install the what package, which is called what? httpd-y. Then in the echo I want to print the message. What is the message I want to print? Hi, I am a web server. Okay, this is the message. I am a web server. Then I will stop the web service. So this message, where to write it? So this message is under where www html location. In that the page name is index.html. This is the first important thing. Then I want to start the service systemctl start httpd is service, and then systemctl enable httpd is the what one more. Okay, so these are the what options to install and configure web server. Then directly launch instances. I think everything fine. Web security group, right? Okay, fine. Then launch instances. Right. So one instance successfully created. Okay, this is called what? Web server. It's being to create. Just wait few seconds.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, yesterday you sent that ELB is the old one, sir. What about the new one, sir? It's not.
both are I sent. I have been sent both.
No, sir. The new one get that Linux kernel Linux about that information, sir.
Okay, I will check it now today.
Okay. Okay.
But actually, I have been sent both.
Yes, I got it too, sir. But in that first one, that line learner.
Yeah, past you got it too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is reference purpose. I sent you what old one. If you want, then you can use it. Otherwise, you can leave it.
So I got one. No, sir. You send the two emails, sir. In that first one, it is about kernel Linux, sir, and the second one is old ELB, sir. The
Okay, I will check it now today.
yeah, yes, yes. Yes.
Right. So now we will copy and paste the word web server. Okay. Now hi, I am a web server. So now your web server is ready. So now this web server, I will make it with a one image file, because auto scaling will launch the what new instances based on you defined image file, based on what you defined image file. So that's why I want to create a what new instances from the image file. So that's why I will make it a what one image this web server. So now it's still initializing. Just wait. Okay, now I will make it a image file for this. Under actions, image and templates, create image. So the image name is like it is a Apache web server. Apache web server. So now I will keep it a description. Apache web server HTTPD. This is HTTPD web server, correct. But while creating image, I don't want to reboot the server. Then okay. Then I will create a tag name. The tag name is name. It is called what? Web server. Okay, it is fine. Then create image. Now it's being to create a image. Then where is the images? So under this is the what AMS. So now web server image is what create. So now the status is what pending. Just wait few moments. Okay. Now image file successfully created. So based on this image, so how can you make it that auto scaling configuration? Here is the word auto scaling. So auto scaling have two components. The first one is launch configuration and the second one is auto scaling groups. So what contains launch configuration? Actually, this launch configuration contains the configuration of EC2. So like what kind of instance type, what kind of image file, and like what is the key pair name, and what is the security group, and what is the volume size, and everything under the what launch configuration. And auto scaling group maintain, so what are the minimum instances and the maximum instances, like in the scale group I told you just now. So when the CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 50%, then how many instances you want? So actually the scale group maintains minimum one instance, then that instance will increase how many, like the instance will increase based on the what your specified values, like I will specify the values in the auto scaling group minimum and the maximum. These two are the what configurations. Okay, first I will delete what have been created. So I will delete the what instance because no need this one. New option, new deployment. Okay, the instance is what setting down. So no running instances are here. Now I will create a what launch configuration first. Under launch configurations, create launch configuration. Okay, name of the launch configuration. Okay, this is my auto my auto configuration, auto scaling configuration. Name whatever it may be. Then you have been created one image file just now. What is the image name? Web server. So this is the what Apache web server. Because auto scaling will launch the what new instances based on this image. Then the instance type. So now the instances will launch with the tt.micro instance capability. So that is tt.micro micro instances I made. So that's why it is a 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM. And next, so monitoring. So enabled enhanced monitoring. Every refresh time interval is every 1 minute. I enabled the what? Refresh time interval. And what volume size you want with the default 8 GB, it is enough. And what security group you recommended? The security group should be web security group with port. So web security group means in which VPC that web security group. So that web security group is and which VPC, where is the VPC ID? Okay, I'm checking the VPC ID. So VPCs. So the VPC ID 32BD. 32BD, this is the what web security group. Select the what web security group. And then what key pair is recommended? The key pair is the what new key pair, which is called what online. And then okay. So this is the what first important thing. So the instance launching with what configuration. So that's why we need to select the what configuration setup. So this is the what create launch configuration. Okay. From the image file, the instance will launch based on this configuration. Then create launch configuration. Right, the configuration setup is ready. But based on this configuration setup, so how to create large configuration, how to create a scale group, that is called what I will create a what auto scaling groups. The scale group is the what even you can select and accents create auto scaling group. Otherwise, under auto scaling groups, create auto scaling group option is there, and create auto scaling group. So auto scale group name, what is the scale group name? Okay, this is my auto group, that is auto configuration. This is the what auto scale group. So now the scale configuration already created, which is called what switch to launch configuration. So that is my auto configuration. So this is the what already created just now. So my auto conf. Okay, that auto conf is the what this is the configuration. Then click on next. Next, this instance is running on which VPC? Here we can select the what VPC. My VPC is the dev VPC. Under dev VPC, I have to select two availability zones, public subnet 1 and public subnet 2. So instances will launch on these two subnets. So within the VPC of what is that dev VPC. Then click on next option. Then here is the what main steps. So in the configure advanced options, where to launch these instances under load balancer target groups or without load balancers, means directly auto scaling will work, means no load balancer is required. But you want to launch instances inside the what load balancers, then here attach to an existing load balancer or attach to create a new load balancer. Okay, already I have a load balancer, that's why I select attach an existing load balancer. Under the load balancer, choose from your load balancer target groups. So otherwise, choose from directly classic load balancer. Already you have a classic load balancer, my classic load balancer. Then what is mean? So those instances will launch directly under the what classic load balancer. Or I want to launch the instances under the target groups. The target group name is NELB, Network Elastic Load Balancer. Means this Network Elastic Load Balancer target group uses this auto scaling group instances. Then health checks. It will follow the what EC2 and elastic load balancer health checks, because it will use the what 300 seconds means 5 minutes. That is warm up time. And monitoring level is enhanced group metrics collection with CloudWatch. I mean the monitoring is every 1 minute refresh time interval, which is called what detail monitoring. Then click on next option. And now this is the word configure group size and scaling policies. Group size scaling policies means, so in that load balancer, how many instances you want. So the network load balancer scale group, the network load balancer target group maintains minimum one instance, then that instance will add automatically based on the what workloads of the CloudWatch metrics. Okay, so the desired capacity 1, that's why minimum instance is 1 and maximum instance is 3. I mean 1 to 3 instances it will add. 1 to 3 instances it will add, but by default it will create one instance, but that one instance CPU utilization is greater than or equal to maybe 40 or 30%, it will add 1 to 2, 2 to 3, like it will maintain maximum 3 in the elastic load balancer. But where to specify the word, the metrics? So here scaling policies. So right now in the load balancer, observe in the network elastic load balancer, in the target groups, network elastic load balancer, we don't have any instances, right? Zero instances, but auto scaling will launch instances automatically inside the network elastic load balancers. So now I want to select the what target policies. Here none, but please deselect target tracking scaling policies. So the target tracking scaling policy metric types. So now my average CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 50% or greater than or equal to 40%, then it will add the what one more instance. So like that. Even you can write the what target metric types, average CPU utilization, network in speed, network out speed, even application load balancer request counts also. Okay, now CPU utilization is good idea. So when the CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 50%, then it will add one more instance. So because I specified here desired capacity minimum one, maximum one, but by default one instance because desired capacity is one. So if I maintain desired capacity 2, then what happen? Minimum 2 instances in the group, but maximum is the what 3. But I need only one. Okay, so now this is the way, and disable scale into create only a scale out policy. So if you run that, then scale out policy. So noted that only instance scale in protection, enable instance scale in protection means it will protect accidental delays. Okay, so no need those. So average CPU utilization target value 50. Then warm up time is 300 seconds. I mean within after 300 seconds the instance will add automatically. Then click on next and add notifications option. Here, sir, I want notification when the instance is added or when the instance is terminated in the group. So that's why here add notification option. You know that SNS topics. That SNS topics are here billings, high CPU utilization, S3 bucket, like lot of things. So now at CPU, I mean high CPU means CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 50% is the what notification. So when the CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 50%, then I will receive a what one notification through email ID. But when will you receive the notification? The event type is when the instance is launched or when the instance terminate. And fail to launch time and fail to terminate time, no need to notification. Only launching and termination time, I need a notification. Otherwise, only launching time, I need a what notification. Okay, then click on next option, then click on tag name. So the tag name is I will specify the tag name, the instance names with scaling. The instance names are scaling. Then click on next and a review policy, and what are the options you selected, and everything you can select it and everything seems fine. Then we'll go for create auto scaling group. Then the scale group successfully created. So based on the configuration, it will launch the what one instance. Just observe here. So updating the what capacity. Minimum instance capacity 1, maximum instance capacity is 3. Then how many instances are there? So in that case, so the number of instances are only 4. But here one scaling instance is being to create. The scaling instance is being to create. So what is mean by being to create? So just now I have been created auto scaling. So that auto scaling creates one instance because the minimum instance one, maximum three. But this instance will get up more than 50% CPU utilization. It will add automatically one more instance. Even that instance CPU utilization that 50%, it will add one more instance. But maximum three only. So those three instances will share the what incoming application traffic. So now the instance is being to run. Right. So only one instance is running, but this instance running in the target group of I specified NELB, Network Elastic Load Balancer. See that now the instance is not healthy, so that's why instance is not registered. But after few moments, it will add the what one instance here. Right. So the total targets are one. So now one instance is what initial, but after few moments the instance is what healthy state. Now one instance is added successfully. What is the instance name? Scaling. So the instance state is initial. The instance has been launched under US East 1A. Okay. Then the next important thing. So I think I will receive your notification. So in the Gmail, when the instance has been launched, so I specified the word receiving one notification. Yes, it's CPU. So auto scaling notification is ready, right? Because one instance successfully created. That's why I received the word notification. The next important thing. So what about that current instance CPU utilization? So now the current CPU utilization, where it is. So I will connect the what instance first, scaling the public instances, then EC2 user, then sudo space hyphen I. Okay, now this is the what instance. Right now the current instance is running through auto scaling. Then sorry. So how to verify the CPU utilization? Generally in the Linux, top command is there to verifying the what CPU utilization. So top command. So the current CPU utilization 5.9. So now 0.0. So based on the what activity, the CPU utilization will increase. But this CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 50%, then you will get a what? One more notification. I mean one more instance. So now I will connect the same instance duplicate session, then EC2 hyphen user, then fine. So I have a command to increase the what CPU utilization. For testing, I will increase the what CPU utilization. But don't run this command in the environment. For testing, we will run the command here. What is the command? This is the command to increase the what CPU utilization. So now if I run this command, just observe. If I run this command, then enter what about CPU utilization, observe. So now the CPU utilization is 81.7. The CPU utilization is 98.7. So it is very dangerous command. Okay, don't run. But I need more instances based on the what workloads. That's why I want to show the output. So that's why I added this command here. So now current CPU utilization is 99.3, but this CPU utilization continuously to run more than 5 minutes, because the warm up time I specified what 300 seconds. That 300 seconds is nothing but what 5 minutes. The continuously running 5 minutes, it will add your one more instance automatically inside the what scale group. I mean inside the what scale group, which is called NELB, Network Elastic Load Balancer. And after adding instance, even I will receive the what one notification, because while launching new instance, definitely will get a what new message. So right now only 199 messages. Only here the instances are only one instance is running in the scale group. So now only one instance is running. So after few moments, you will see the message, maybe 2 or 3 messages. But this instance running, what kind of output see that? So the image file contains, hi, this is a web server or something. Yes. Okay. The same servers automatically will launch maybe 2 or 3. Okay. But now in the target groups NELB, only one instance is running, but the count increment will be 3 after 5 minutes. So even I will receive one more notification after adding instance. Just wait few seconds, I mean few minutes, you will get your output. Okay, now I received a notification. See that auto scaling launch configuration. Okay, and then I will check it the number of instances here. So now total two instances. So one is already healthy, another one is initializing. See that the second one has been added. Super, right? So now even in the instances level, you will check it. So one instance already running. The another instance is what initializing is. Okay, that is called what scaling. Here it's called what scaling. So that is called what auto scaling. So based on fluctuating workloads, so it will add automatically instance with through auto scale group. But two components, the scale group maintains minimum and maximum instances, launch configuration maintains the backend, what kind of instance type, what kind of security group, and everything configuration of EC2 instances. But you want to change the what launch configuration, like we can change the what in the create your what new launch configuration, then add the what that configuration file into scale group, and you want to delete it, then here it is what delete launch configuration. I want to you want to change that, then copy launch configuration. This is the what copy launch configuration means, you will change the what new copy. That is called what, do you want to change the what any web server again, I mean the new instance will you launch on any other image file, then we can change the what configuration like this. Again we can change the what existing configuration. Okay, this is the what auto scaling. Now I want to delete the what scale group, and don't delete the what instances, because even if you delete the what instance, it will create automatically, because auto scaling maintain minimum one instance. That's why first delete your what launch configuration. First delete your what launch configuration, auto scaling group, then delete your what launch configurations. Then register the what image file. So I will deregister my image file. Okay, so automatically, so everything is deleted. That's why automatically every instance will delete, I mean it will terminate. See that the instance is terminated, and now what about remaining instances, just observe. So this the auto scaling instances are running now, but now both are what still running, because the scale group is what being to deleted. So here see this, the auto scaling groups are deleting, and launch configuration is deleted. But after auto scaling group is deleted, see that instances two are there. Once the scale group is deleted, and automatically instances also will be deleted. Okay, after deleting, so automatically instances will terminate. So this is called what? Auto scaling with load balancer. Then the load balancers offers large URL names actually in the last lecture, but that large URL names are not correct in the production environment, I mean in the customer environment. So for example, you want to access the what website. So you want to give the what website URL to customer like uh, my products hyphen 123 comma 1 ABC like that. That is not a correct URL. So how load balancer large names mapping with simple URL names. So tomorrow I will configure with the help of Route 53, which is called what DNS surveys. How can you map it? Map it Route 53 with the load balancers. So these three combinations very important in the real environment. So auto scaling and sorry first load balancer, and how can you add instances automatically inside the load balancer with help of auto scaling, and then how load balancer URLs mapping with a simple human readable names, which is called what Route 53. So tomorrow session I will explain that is called what Route 53. Right? Thank you friends. See you tomorrow.